mindfulness, humility, and trust. What do these things have to do with the flow of life and how we can improve the way in which we show up, even in business? So welcome to Intention Monday. My name is Rishi Patel. I'm the founder of Selling in Alignment, where I work with coaches and consultants to reprice and package their services so they can discover and live their bigger purpose in life. So I'm really excited about this Intention Monday, and it's very relevant right now, especially as I step into some big goals that I've achieved over the last 20 years, over the last 5 years, things just coming into fruition. And I feel it's very important to stay mindful of the way in which I'm showing up. It's very easy for me, and especially me in my personal journey, and maybe you could even relate to this, especially me, it's very easy for me to step into this ego of like, oh, I'm amazing, I've done great, this is fantastic, like, this is all me. And at the same time, I'm super mindful around this unseen presence that's guiding all of this. And that's exactly what I mean in this Intention Monday when I talk about mindfulness, humility, and trust. There is some mindfulness to bring around all of these beautiful blessings that come into the space. And what does that look like in business? So for me, really, as a coach, when I'm stepping into this role of a coach or a consultant and I'm working with my clients, and even for you as a coach or a consultant working with your clients, can we really get into their world and really understand their needs instead of just delivering the coaching or just delivering the consulting? How present focused are we around the things that they're really dealing with and the things that they're present for them in order to have them feel uplifted and unheard? There is this thing about really feeling heard. And when people feel heard, that's when you create the maximum amount of relatedness, and that's when actually selling becomes really effortless. Coaches experience this ickiness around selling, and the reason that all happens is because we move away from what it is that the client really wants, and we get into the headspace of, hey, this is what I want to deliver. And so mindfulness for me is just another word for awareness. And when we bring an awareness to something, we can really get a powerful change inside of that particular thing. And so I've done a lot of work on this recently around getting awareness. What do you need to bring an awareness to, or what do you want to transform in either your coaching business, your consulting business, or life in general? Let me know in the comments. I'd love to know and share this space with you. So there is this humility in success and failure. Success and failure are things that are going to be intrinsically interlinked. You can't move away from these ideals. You can't just enjoy pure success all the time, and you won't just have pure failure all the time as well. I feel like I've experienced over the last 5 years a number of setbacks that have stopped me from achieving a bigger goal. And at the same time, there have been so many parts of the puzzle where I felt like this presence, you can call it the universe, you can call it the higher power, you can call it God, you can call it anything you want. But I felt this presence that's been guiding every single interaction that's moving me towards this certain space. And even inside of the failures I achieved over these last 5 years, they were guided failures. They moved me towards something. And so because they were guided, there wasn't anything that I was bringing to the table, in essence. Like, I had no control over that. I was just with the flow. And so there is this importance around having that humility and surrendering and just being able to say, hey, you know what? I'm giving this my best, and I'm just going to trust that at the right time it's going to come into my space. And that's what I've experienced recently. And maybe you can relate to some of this as well. Maybe you're on a journey where you've set a bigger goal for yourself. Maybe it's a revenue goal for your business. Maybe it's a number of coaching clients that you want to start working with. Maybe it's a goal that you've worked for, you've created at the beginning of this year, and as we get closer towards the end of the year, you feel like you're maybe not achieving on that. In any case, I genuinely feel when the intention is super positive, strong, and powerful, there's that guidance from the presence, that unseen presence. When we ourselves first are present, there is a guidance from the presence that continues to guide even the failures along the route as well to the eventual success. And I genuinely believe, not from just having heard it in personal development circles, but I genuinely believe through experiencing it, that when you continue to work consistently towards something and it's important to you and you just keep chipping away at it, I genuinely believe that even that presence won't stand in your way to achieving this particular goal or this outcome. And there's such depth there, there's such power there. And so it ties in with this beautiful narrative around life is always happening for you and not to you. You know, when we're in victim consciousness, when we have this space in which we are, oh, you know, this is happening to me and this person said this about me and this isn't working for me, and like I tried this and it just failed, and you know, I've done everything in my coaching business to bring on new clients, and I did this launch and it fell apart, and you know, I can't speak to clients on the phone, I get nervous when I'm selling. Like all of these things are classed under like a victim consciousness, and inside of this victim consciousness, this compressed space, what's happening is we feel that life is happening to us. Yet the ultimate truth stands in the fact that life is actually happening for us. When we transcend this victim consciousness, we step outside of that space, we get to have this experience where life is happening for us. So all of the things that happen, these little road-mapped failures, as I talked about in the lead up to the eventual success, what we're actually experiencing is life happening for us. And when I look back on my journey over the last 5 years, from making a setting an intention to saying, hey, you know, I wanted to achieve a 5-year goal, having no clue how that was going to come about or what was involved in it or how challenging it would be, there were all of these unseen elements that were going on. And most of the time, and I would say 85% of the time, I was in the headspace that life was happening to me instead of life happening for me. And that made the journey all the more difficult. And so if we can just look and get really honest and see everything that's happening in our lives as a pure blessing, then we can just completely change the game around how things come into our space. We can be grateful even for the challenges because we know that that challenge is happening for us, and we can enjoy the fruits of the actions of those labors of everything that we've put in when we get to that eventual success. And I do believe that eventual success will come. It will taste all the more sweeter if we can enjoy the journey throughout. Why should it be that we just get focused on just the destination and forget that this journey is happening for us in the lead up to the destination? Imagine this for a moment. You're driving to, let's say, a beautiful part of the United Kingdom, the Lake District as a great example, and you're in the car and you're taking this journey. And then there's all these roadblocks that are coming up, and it's like, this roadblock's here, and I have to take a diversion, I have to take a longer route, there's traffic on the motorway, you know, all these things are happening. And what this could be preventing is from you getting into a road traffic accident. Like imagine if there was a roadblock in place and it prevented you later on down the line on that motorway being in a road traffic accident. Can you imagine that as a possible scenario? So then what happens when you can see everything is happening for you instead of to you? Not only does the destination, the Lake District, you get to enjoy the beautiful serene spaces, but the journey itself also becomes a joy, and that's incredibly powerful. And so when we just detach from that outcome of just wanting to get to the Lake District, and we can start to focus on those efforts in the drive and the fact that we can get excited about this roadblock and the kids are screaming in the back, and like, if we can bring a mindfulness around all of this, we can really start to enjoy space. We can really start to get intentionally focused around all of these beautiful blessings that exist in our life. And we can see our lives, our coaching businesses, the way we create revenues, everything in a completely different way. And there's so much depth and power in that. And so we can then really tap into this unlimited potential, because the truth is we have an unlimited potential. We get to see, like as a business owner, you can see there are a bunch of possibilities you can't see for yourself, right? You don't know if that someone from Another part of the world is going to land on your doorstep and offer you a £5 million contract to go and do X, Y, and Z. We don't know anything that's going to happen in the future, but if we can see the beautiful the stepping stones that are happening in the journey for us, the challenges, if you like, are happening for us, then we get to enjoy this all in a completely different way. I'd love to know what you got from Intention Monday. Let me know in the comments below. Until the next time, keep selling in alignment.